Good morning, everybody. August 29th in the Hoopos. That wonderful fall weather that I've been waiting for finally occurred this morning. I think we've just seen the end of our humidity. It was 12 degrees earlier this morning, clear blue sky, no clouds at all, but nice, crisp, dry fall air. Normally I don't look forward to that because it brings an end to our summer season, but summer this year has been so lovely and long and hot and humid that cool fall air is really appreciated. And to give you a little look around in the Hoopos today, as well as doing my melon weighing. It's hard to believe it's been 10 days since the last time we weighed the melons. I've done a few things in here I want to show you, and I'm going to try to show you the 9 different varieties of peppers that I'm growing, both sweet peppers and hot chili peppers, and a few other little things that are going on in here. So I'll try not to make this too long, but it'll be a bit of an update on the Hoopos. I'll have to check back on the previous video to see what this sugar baby watermelon weighed the last time I weighed it. I don't really remember. I know it's gained because I'm sure it was 3 pounds something, and 10 days later, if you can see that down in there, it now weighs 4 pounds 7 ounces. So I think that's up a bit and still growing evidently. If you can see these things, these are the closest tendrils and they're still nice and green, so evidently it's still increasing in size. I don't know if the shorter days, cooler nights are going to have an effect on it and slow it down or not, but it's getting closer to that target weight of at least 6 pounds. The seed packet said that full size is between 6 and 8 pounds. Well, we'll see. Let's have a look at the melons, the cantaloupe melons rather. Well, this is the same melon that I've been weighing here, the same cantaloupe. As I say, I don't really recall what it weighed last time, but right now it weighs 1 pound 11.5 ounces. I'll put an annotation on the video, the same as for the sugar baby melon there, and show you the gain or loss. I think this one is not going to grow anymore because in setting it up to weigh, I have broken it off the vine. It's just barely attached to the vine. There's 2 plants here, and each plant has 2 melons. I'll show you down here and swing around a bit and show you the other plants. The only different thing that's happened with the plants is this particular one down here has wilted twice, even though I water them all the same time in the same amount. I don't know if that means that that one's more root bound or whatever, but these are much riper. I would think in a day or so I'll be doing a picking and sampling here, and I don't know if the curly tendril thing applies on all melons or if that's just watermelons, but the closest tendrils on these 2 melons here have died and are quite dry, so I think that means that they are ripening, and they are much more yellowish brown than the other ones here. So I'm going to have some melons to try soon. I'll do an update and show you what they're like when I cut them open. So this shot is looking down in the center of my artichoke plant, my cachofe, and I don't think it will show because this camera doesn't zoom any further than that, but there is an artichoke starting to come up out of the center there. So I will give you an update later on when it actually comes up on its little stem here. But I haven't decided yet if I'll eat it or let it bloom. The blossoms are so pretty, and 1 artichoke isn't much of a meal. But anyway, it has worked. I'm going to get at least 1 artichoke out of it. I removed the corn plants yesterday. I actually did get some corn. The ears were small. I actually still have some in the refrigerator. The ears were small, 6-8 inches or so, but they filled out nicely, and it's one of those bicolor corns, nice and sweet. So, but they were going by, and I wanted to get some of my fall crops in here to see if I can't get something going for harvesting later this fall. So these are all members of the brassica family. There are a few cabbages, 4 or 5 cauliflower. I've never grown cauliflower before. My favorite kale, which is the winter boar kale. I know I'll get a nice harvest off of that. That grows in here quite rapidly, so I'll be harvesting kale right up through to, I'm sure, early November. But anyway, I wanted to give you a look at the bed that I just planted yesterday. Now move on, we'll have a look at some of the peppers. The first pepper that I'll try to give you a look at here is the Ahidolce, the Central Southern American pepper, seed sent to me by a gardener in Puerto Rico. And I have finally got them to pollinate. If you get a look at that right there, and there's some of the little green ones on it. They're a beautiful thing when they ripen, at least in photographs that I've seen. So hopefully I can keep them going long enough in here to get some ripe peppers off of it. I guess what I didn't mention about the Ahidolce is that it is a sweet pepper. Moving on now to some of the hot peppers. This is the Thai pepper, I think called bird's eye pepper here. I love the Thai translation. Theirs is the most shit pepper, but anyway, it hasn't, they aren't ripe yet, of course, but lots of little green chilies on there, if you can see them, and they are very hot. I look forward to those turning red so I can dry some to have for winter use. Well, this is that mystery capsicum, supposedly a hot chili. Someone from, I think, Alabama sent me the seeds 2 or 3 years ago. It grew several feet tall last fall in the hoop post, and blossomed, but I couldn't get it to set any fruit. Well, it is finally setting some fruit, so hopefully we'll be able to see. You can see that one in there. Be able to see what it looks like a little later on. It was also the same plant that I took cuttings from and successfully rooted a cutting after several months. I couldn't believe how long it took. I have bought a different kind of a rooting compound. So a jelly thing, you've probably seen it advertised. Little tubs, almost look like yogurt tubs or whatever, clear little plastic tubs with a jelly inside that supposedly will root things much better. Anyway, I'm going to take cuttings from this and from the black pearl chili pepper, because I want to bring them both through the winter to have them back out here again next year, but these plants are getting far too large to carry back and forth and keep in the house all winter. This variety is a hot cherry pepper called Big Balm. You can see a number of green ones there. And if I move some of the foliage out of the way, hopefully we'll get a look at some red ripe ones down at the base here. Very hard to film in where I am right now. I'm in a jungle. But they're growing very nicely. There's 3 plants and they all have a lot of peppers on, and they are quite hot. I intend to try to can them or pickle them, whatever, pickled peppers, I guess. This variety is called Pepper Joe's, long cayenne, long red cayenne, and it has a lot of long green peppers, long green chilies on it right now, which I'm sure as fall goes on and progresses here, they will ripen and turn red. These were recommended to me by Brendan, Bacon Soda in Ireland, and thank you, Brendan. I'm glad that they're growing inside here. I have rabbits that enjoy chili peppers. Last time I grew cayennes, they were out in my garden, turned beautifully red and ripe, and I went out a day or 2 later to pick them to make hot pepper jelly that I like, and hot pepper relish, and they were gone. There was about 2 or 3 left. The rabbits had eaten them all, so evidently hot chilies don't bother the rabbits in the least. And these are the Japanese peppers, Shishito Peppers, seeds given to me by Gary in Germany. And Gary, they are doing very well. As you've seen from some of my previous videos here, I have been eating them, and they're delicious. And these 3 plants are really loaded right now. I don't know, no idea, I haven't actually counted, but on the 3 plants I wouldn't be surprised there were 100 of these. I'm going to try them in tempura batter, probably done in the wok outside with the rocket stove again. I'll probably do a little video on that. I've got an idea they'd be very tasty done in a tempura. Anyway, there are lots of them. They produce abundantly. I've only got 3 plants. I think if I grow them again next year, I'll only grow 1 plant. That's more than what I can eat. Just turned around here, ready to leave this section. Whoops, and go over and film the other sweet peppers, and I noticed I have a better shot here of the big Balms, the cherry peppers that are the green ones anyway. Give you an idea of the size. I'll put my hand in there. They're a nice pepper and nice and hot. This is the capsicum anum black pearl chili, and as you can see, I guess some of them are starting to turn red and ripen. And it is loaded. I just have the one plant, but it's going to produce more than I'll need. It will grow nicely from seed, so if I don't successfully get one of these rooted to keep over winter, I can grow it again from seed. It grows from seed and produces the first year. Last year I did that in this particular plant, though I kept it in the house all winter, and it came out and immediately started blooming and producing chilies. And this is a sweet pepper that seed was given to me by Diane Mum. It's called Sweet Pickle, and it is a very small, my hands in there might give you some idea, it's a very small pepper meant for pickling. I only have 2 plants, but they are well loaded up, so I'm sure I'll get a few jars to pickle and try. I've eaten a few just fresh in salads, and they are a nice sweet little pepper. This sweet variety is called Fattened Sassy. It's a short season variety which is meant to grow well in our area. I wouldn't be able to grow it here if it wasn't in the hoop house. Our evenings and nights are too cool. I've tried sweet peppers before and I grow nasty little bitter things. This is sort of the second crop on these. I've already had one crop that were fully grown. These are quite small still. I'll give a hand in there to give you an idea, but they are coming on quite nicely, and the 3 or 4 plants that I have here all have some new green peppers that I'm sure will continue to progress as the fall goes on. I left one of the Fattened Sassies on to see what it would look like when it ripens, and this plant, even though it's got that one left on there, is now growing a lot of new peppers. I'll give you an idea. It's starting to ripen. One side of it is red and the other sides are various shades of green and chocolate brown, but it's a nice big pepper, and that's what the other ones were like that I already harvested. I'm so pleased to be able to grow a good-sized sweet pepper. First time for me. Well, I don't know if I've shown you all of the varieties of pepper. I also grew California Wonder, and I did get a few peppers off of them, but right now I don't think there's anything left on them. I do see some blossoms, so they may yet produce some more. But I think that's probably enough of an update. This thing is getting long enough. I will lift this up and just give you a look at one of my many mistakes. That, if you can get a look at the size of the thing, that is a ground cherry, and I do love them. I planted 2 in the hoop house here, and they just turned into massive plants. They have completely choked out my shallots. I'm going to get shallots, but they're not really dividing and multiplying up like they normally would. I will not make this mistake again and plant ground cherry in the hoop house. It really enjoyed the heat, and it is gone. Well, I guess you can see it's up there. Oh, I don't know, it must be getting close to 5 feet on the top of it, and it is full of ground cherries. They're called ground cherry for a very good reason. They're ripe when they fall on the ground, and I managed to harvest a few every day in here. Well, thank you for watching, and to close this off, for those of you who have never seen a ground cherry, I just found this one laying on the ground. They grow like a tomatillo in a little husk. We call them ground cherries. In some places they're called Cape gooseberries. Anyway, I love the little things. Some people say they have a tomato-like flavor. I don't get that. They've got a flavor all of their own, sweet little berry-like thing. But when you break it open, there is the fruit inside. Sort of does look like a very small golden tomato, but they are delicious. I can't wait any longer. I've got to eat it. Very sweet and nice. Thank you for watching, and I'm sure there'll be more updates soon. I'm going to be cutting that melon open, for one thing. Talk to you later.